Carlton Palmer's story represents one of football's most complex narratives, encompassing sporting achievement, personal struggles, and the intricate relationship between athletic talent and public perception. Born in December 1965, Palmer carved out a distinctive career that spanned over 2 decades, earning recognition as both a formidable midfielder and a controversial figure whose life has been scrutinized through multiple lenses. Palmer's footballing journey began in 1984 and stretched until 2005, during which he established himself as what many termed a telescopic-legged midfielder. His physical presence and relentless work ethic made him a valuable asset to several prominent English clubs, including West Bromwich Albion, Sheffield Wednesday, Leeds United, Southampton, Nottingham Forest, and Coventry City. His playing style was characterised by determination, persistence, and an aggressive approach that managers appreciated even when fans remained divided. The midfielder's international recognition came through 18 caps for England, culminating in his inclusion in the squad for UEFA Euro 1992. This achievement underscored his ability at the highest level, despite critics who often focused on his unconventional technique rather than his effectiveness. Palmer's career demonstrates how different perspectives can exist simultaneously about the same player, with managers consistently valuing his contribution, while sections of the media and public remained sceptical. From a tactical standpoint, Palmer operated as a box-to-box midfielder who brought what his managers called bite and venom to the centre of the pitch. His height and reach allowed him to win aerial duels and break up opposition play, while his stamina enabled him to cover significant ground throughout matches. Though sometimes criticised for his technical skills, his understanding of defensive positioning and ability to disrupt opponents made him particularly effective in certain tactical systems. Palmer's career trajectory also illustrates broader themes about how football clubs evaluate players. Despite various off-field controversies, his market value remained remarkably stable, with transfer fees of £1.0 million and £1.1 million in the late 1990s reflecting his continued worth to clubs. This pattern reveals how sporting organisations often prioritise on-field contribution when making personnel decisions, sometimes separating athletic value from personal conduct. The midfielder's relationship with alcohol became a defining characteristic of his playing career, particularly his pre-match ritual of consuming brandy to calm his nerves. This practice, which he described as a psychological need, was performed openly and became part of his identity as a professional. Different managers responded to this habit in varying ways, with some tolerating it as long as performance remained unaffected, while others sought to change his approach. The most revealing aspect of Palmer's drinking habits occurred during his time at Leeds United under Howard Wilkinson. When encouraged to reduce his alcohol consumption, Palmer's form reportedly declined significantly, only to improve once he resumed drinking. This sequence suggests a complex psychological relationship between his coping mechanisms and athletic performance, challenging conventional assumptions about alcohol's impact on professional sports. Media coverage of Palmer's drinking intensified when photographs emerged showing him intoxicated while wearing his club tracksuit during a night out before a Sheffield Wednesday match. This incident marked a turning point in public perception, transforming what had been a tolerated personal habit into a source of controversy. The episode demonstrates how media visibility can rapidly shift public narratives around sporting figures, regardless of their actual performance levels. Palmer's legal troubles in 1997, involving sexual assault conviction for which he was fined £600, represent perhaps the most serious aspect of his controversial profile. The incident occurred in August 1997 when he was found guilty of grabbing an 18-year-old girl between the legs in a packed pub during a night out with Leeds United teammates. He appealed the conviction but was unsuccessful, with the appeal being rejected in February 1998. The fact that his career continued uninterrupted, with Southampton signing him for £1.0 million in the same month as his conviction, raises questions about accountability in professional sports. This incident illustrates how different standards sometimes apply to athletes compared to other professionals, particularly when their sporting value remains high. The transfer fee and continued participation at the top level suggest that clubs prioritised his on-field contribution over personal conduct issues. Palmer's transition into management brought new challenges and controversies. His appointment appointment at Mansfield Town in November 2004 was met with scepticism, partly due to his association with an unpopular chairman. The relationship between Palmer and the club's supporters deteriorated rapidly, exacerbated by squad changes that affected fan favourites. His tenure concluded dramatically in September 2005 with a live radio resignation following a poor result against Rochdale. The circumstances surrounding Palmer's departure from Mansfield revealed another layer of football's interpersonal dynamics. Palmer publicly blamed his assistant manager, Peter Shirtliff, for undermining his position through direct communication with the chairman. This accusation, made in the immediate aftermath of his resignation, highlighted the pressures and internal conflicts that can develop within football management structures. The evolution of Palmer's public statements on racism provides another lens through which to examine his career. His 2014 comments on TalkSport, suggesting players should grow up and accept racist abuse, generated significant backlash from anti-racism organisations and the broader football community. Paul Mortimer from Kick It Out strongly refuted Palmer's stance, emphasising that racist abuse is illegal and should never be considered part of the game. Palmer's position became more complex when considering his Jamaican heritage and his earlier defence of Ron Atkinson against racism accusations. His subsequent writings and commentary have revealed more nuanced positions, distinguishing between individual incidents and institutional racism. In his 2017 autobiography, Palmer articulated a more sophisticated critique, suggesting that casual racial abuse was less problematic than the deeply ingrained racism he perceived within football institutions like the FA and BBC. This evolution in Palmer's expressed views demonstrates how public figures can develop more sophisticated understandings of complex issues over time. It also highlights the challenges of evaluating individuals based on isolated statements rather than their complete body of work and evolving perspectives. Palmer's post-playing career has encompassed diverse ventures, from establishing an online estate agency called The Home Game to teaching physical education in Dubai and setting up his own football academy. He also purchased a pub in Sheffield and later took on the role of Director of Sport at Wellington College in Shanghai. His transition into media work has been particularly notable, with regular appearances as a pundit on BBC's Final Score and contributions to TalkSport. The midfielder's 2017 autobiography, It Is What It Is, co-written with Stephen Jacoby, received praise for its honesty and directness. The book addresses various controversial aspects of his career without attempting to sanitize his experiences. Critics noted his willingness to discuss uncomfortable topics, suggesting that his uncompromising nature, while sometimes problematic, also contributes to his authenticity as a public figure. Palmer's media career raises important questions about how sports journalism and punditry function. His continued employment across various platforms suggests that controversial figures can maintain professional relevance when they possess genuine sporting knowledge and willingness to express opinions directly. This pattern reflects broader trends in sports media, where strong personalities often receive platforms regardless of past controversies. The way Palmer's story has been covered also provides insight into media literacy and public perception. Different outlets have emphasized various aspects of his career, from his playing achievements to his personal struggles, demonstrating how the same individual can be portrayed through multiple frameworks. Understanding these different approaches helps audiences evaluate sports journalism more critically. Palmer's resilience throughout various controversies reflects broader themes about reputation management and career longevity in professional sports. Despite facing legal issues, public criticism, and management failures, he has maintained a visible profile and continued working within football. This persistence suggests that authentic personalities, even flawed ones, can retain value in certain contexts. Palmer has also been open about personal health challenges, including undergoing a life-saving 5-hour heart operation in 2016 and experiencing a suspected heart attack in 2023 while running the Sheffield Half Marathon. His willingness to share these personal struggles further contributes to his authentic public image. The midfielder's story ultimately illustrates the complexity of evaluating public figures, particularly athletes whose careers span decades and encompass both achievements and controversies. His case demonstrates how sporting talent, personal conduct, media portrayal, and public perception interact in unpredictable ways. As Palmer approaches his 60th birthday, his career serves as a compelling case study in the relationship between athletic achievement and personal reputation. His journey from professional footballer to media personality encompasses triumph, controversy, resilience, and adaptation. Whether viewed as a cautionary tale or an example of persistence through adversity, Palmer's story continues to generate discussion about accountability, second chances, and the complex nature of public life in professional sports. His legacy remains contested, reflecting the broader challenges of evaluating individuals whose lives have been lived partly in public. Palmer's willingness to remain visible and continue contributing to football discourse, despite past controversies, demonstrates both the possibilities and limitations of redemption in contemporary sports culture.